Hi Capricorn, how are you? Welcome to your September 2017 reading. Thank you so much for being here. Really quick before the cards, I'm gonna do a quick astrology highlight. Just one little thing that's going on in the sky. Obviously, there's a lot going on, but we have a whole bunch of planets entering Virgo throughout September, okay? Mercury's going back direct and will re-enter Virgo, the Sun, as well as Mars, and eventually Venus will get there as well later on in the month. What this means, because this is the ruler of your 11th house, your 9th house, I said that with someone else, but the 9th house, which is all about long distance travel and education and, you know, wisdom and philosophy and, you know, more of your high-mindedness. When you think of Sagittarius, you know, you think of the philosopher, right? And all these planets for you are really going to have a positive effect in terms of your work life, in terms of even maybe not even work, but just in terms of the things that you want to get done. You know, if some of you are pursuing a higher education, now is a beautiful time. Beginning of the year, we've got, you know, school starting, all of this good stuff. For those of you who are traveling for work, it's going to be really productive as well. There's going to be a lot of focus on mind, body, and spirit. Spirit, very important for you, Capricorn. You've been through a lot this year. It's important to feed yourself positivity, to feed yourself good things, to feed yourself, you know, physically as well, nourishing diets, things like that. I'm telling everyone, you know, make sure to do a cleanse or, you know, get back in the gym or whatever it is you need to do. This is Virgo we're talking about. They're very finicky with their health, okay? So we've got that. Highlight is that it's all going to be opposing Neptune at some point during the month, and Neptune really blurs the lines. So if you are having, you know, work issues or family issues or whatever, and, you know, just be really cognizant that you're not having maybe this idealistic faith in something, this idealistic faith in a person, idealistic faith in a situation, you know, and to really make sure that you dot your I's, cross your T's, and have all the little details ironed out, okay? If you're entering into any agreements or any contracts, we've got the Mercury retrograde still, so be aware of that. And, you know, just make sure that your tendency to maybe fall back or to put something off or, you know, to not really worry about it and to be a little bit lackadaisical about things, that's just what's going on in the sky, and you don't necessarily have to fall privy to that, that you can still continue your course and you can still make progress and things happen in spite of a tendency to, you know, kind of maybe put it off a little bit. I'm not a big fan of the Neptune-Mars opposition. It's a tough, you know, it's a tough thing because it's like you have got all this power and all this like, yeah, let's do this. But then it kind of fades into this more dreamlike fantasy idealism type of thing. So if any of you are moving, okay, long distance or even short distance, okay, if any of you are moving, again, make sure that the lease agreements and everything are all in place. Financially, everything's good. You'll be fine. It's not a big deal. It's just something to be aware of, okay, if you feel that tendency to kind of get a little bit lazy or not care so much. Okay. I'm going to put this camera down. I'm using this new deck, guys. It's called the Hermetic Tarot deck. It's black and white, and I was a little bit afraid it wouldn't show so well on the camera, but I think it's turning out fine. So we'll just go with it. Okay, Capricorn, what's going on with you? Okay. And the Chariot. See, this is a beautiful card of equilibrium and balance as well. Card of Cancer, and when we think of Cancer, we think of the crab, the hard shell on the outside, the hard exterior, the projection of strength and, you know, toughness, but then you've got this soft gooey on the inside, you know, definitely. And I've said this before in some of my readings, you know, Capricorn really is an ocean of emotion. It's just, it's so far deep and it's so hidden from the world that at times you can feel like you are going through your own internal war on the inside, and no one is none the while, and you know, everyone is, no one has any idea. In the description booklet of this deck, it talks about these two Sphinx as being, you know, love and power. And in this particular card, the Chariot is in fact standing still, indicating that you have found some form of balance or some form of safe space in terms of love versus power. Now, within your own life, yes. Within relationships, yes, absolutely. Some of you maybe have had a lot of turmoil in relationships. Does not surprise me given the nature of your past like 20 readings I've done with you. But, you know, turmoil in love relationships, familial relationships, and even business agreement. I don't know why I'm stumbling over my words right now. Business relationships are all kind of coming to this really, you know, we've got Saturn going back direct, and that's kind of a big deal because it's about to enter your signs. In Sagittarius right now, it's about to head into Capricorn, which is its home safe space. And so with it kind of being halted in the sky right now and moving back direct, I think you're going to be able to feel this energy of your ruling planet coming back home. And you're going to find some level or some sense of control with your life. And wherever there was turbulence, I think it's going to kind of get ironed out. This Saturn retrograde has quite done a number on a lot of people, in addition to all the other retrogrades that we've had this year. But it's good. It's a good way to start the reading. I think you're in a very, I'm not going to say easy, but you're in a very good place. And the Hierophant. You know, the Hierophant is always about your institutions and the organizations that you belong to. Sorry, guys. It's very much about your promises that you've made to other people and the fulfillment of those promises. There could also be someone in your life that you very much look up to, that you very much respect, that could be playing a starring role this month, you know, whether it is a mentor of some kind or a professor, a teacher, you know, a colleague, professional mentor, or something that could kind of make an appearance and really stand out. And, you know, the Mars aspect in Virgo makes a lot of sense because, you know, there could be a more masculine influence that comes in and kind of helps to guide you and to show you where work is best, you know, where effort is best directed. Okay. The Foolish Man. I love that with this deck, it's associated with Pluto. And we think of Pluto, he's the destroyer, right? He's the Shiva, the Hades, the god of the underworld. But when you think, you know, when you don't think of the Fool as being this card of destruction, but really what it is, it's the other side of destruction. It's the regeneration, that new beginning part of it, that part where you feel the light and you feel the sun on your face and you feel like things, like there's hope, you know, because I think a lot of you have lost, no, you haven't lost it, but I think you got to a place where you were almost ready to give up or almost ready to lose hope. Now, when I say that, I don't mean that you are about to just like accept your circumstances. Capricorn will always keep fighting, always, right? But sometimes your adversaries can get so intense and so strong because Capricorn is a sign that people tend to be jealous of, and they tend to, you know, they don't want Capricorns to succeed, to climb the mountain, because they themselves do not have that self-discipline, you know? And so other people do try to tear you down, and they try to take what you have to give. And yet here you are. You have risen. You have risen in beautiful areas of your life that is going to, I hate saying it's bringing in a new chapter, but it really is. That's what this solar eclipse is really all about, that we're having today when I'm recording this reading, is to letting go of all of that past negativity and all of that past nonsense. Because it has been nonsense, right? Like, haven't some of you been dealing with stuff that's just like, oh, I can't believe I'm dealing with this. I can't believe this is even a problem. You know, some of you may have had health problems in your family, but it's like health problems, you know, like one Capricorn I know, his father has been very, very sick, and he's been in a really dark place, because obviously when a parent, someone who you love so much and you've dedicated so much time and attention to making sure that they're staying healthy, but yet, you know, he just stuffs his face with candy all the time and junk food and never eats a vegetable. And he's just like, oh, I can't help my father. I can't help my father to get better, and it's killing me, you know? And I think finally now his father has really come around and been like, okay, I really got to start taking care of myself, because I'm getting to that point where it's either do or die, like literally. And he's starting to accept that responsibility, taking it off of my Capricorn friend, right? And there's that easing up a little bit. You're still not out of the woods yet, but there is this easing up. Okay, so we've got this King of Wands. King of Wands coming out, and we have Seven of Pentacles as well. King of Wands, sign of Leo, or card of Leo. Okay, very determined person. Now, I don't know if this is you or if this is someone else, so I'm going to just speak openly about who it is, okay? It's the archetype of Leo. Strong-willed for sure. This is someone that would never give up. Nope, actually, this is you, Capricorn. What I'm about to say, this is you. Someone that would never give up, no matter what. Because not just because they believe in it so much, but because their ego wouldn't let them give up. And Capricorn, you can have an ego. Let's be honest. We all do. We all have our own version of this ego, right? Here you are. The Empress. That's you, for sure. And the Seven of Swords. So you have this beautiful mixture here. I'm seeing, actually, now that we've got the Empress, and that's definitely you, and then we've got this King of Wands, there's an element of you here. So it's like you, but this could also be someone else. So sorry, guys, I got confused there for a minute. But we have this, someone who's not willing to give up. And some of you may be dealing with a partner or, you know, a relationship where the other person also won't give up. So you're really hitting it, you know, it really came to a head. It's a very important moment this month in August here with this solar eclipse, and it's all going to be left behind you come September. You still may be dealing with the aftermath of everything. See, Pluto, it's not just like comes in and it's done. There's still work to be done, and there's still things that need to be addressed and built back up. You know what I mean? But all in all, you are on the other side of the curtain, okay? And with the Seven of Pentacles coming out here, it's like you've... Because I'm seeing Seven of Swords. Okay, these numbered cards aren't that... There's not a lot going on. It's just the swords, okay? There's symbols and stuff in here, but... Emotionally, be careful, because sometimes we create identities around the things that we go through. You know, we create identities around our hardships, around the bullshit that we have to experience. And then when that stuff kind of goes away, it's like, oh, well, now I have to actually like live my life like normal, and I have to all these months where I said I wanted to only focus on this one thing, well, now maybe I have an opportunity to only focus on this one thing. And it's almost as though there's a little bit of a sense of loss, like feeling like now that the hardship is behind you in some way, you feel like you may have lost a little bit of yourself. Now, that's not going to apply to everybody, all right? It's not going to apply to everybody, but that's kind of the essence of the foolish man, of the fool. breaking free from past identities. And it is work to have to create something new. You know, another Capricorn friend of mine, he's been having, you know, pretty extensive custody battle. 3 years of custody battles. Nasty, nasty stuff. Super nasty, because there's a lot of money involved. Super nasty custody stuff. And finally, he won. Finally, he won rights, visitation rights, custody, split, with shared custody, whatever it is. Finally, he won. And now he's left. Okay, that's a beautiful thing, but now he has to build up a real family with his new girlfriend and her children. And now that's like the task in front of him, you know? So there really are big mountains in front of you, but the mountain goat climbs happily, does it not? It climbs without thinking. It moves forward without thinking. And that's the essence of you. We have this Empress here. The Empress representing Venus, okay? Taurus and Libra energies. She is someone who exhibits a great deal of identity, a great deal of self-worth, which for those of you who know me know that I have a difficult time with that concept, but self-worth, however you see that, self-respect, self-love, okay? And because Capricorn can be an extremely service-oriented sign, you know, a very giving sign, sometimes they give, and then when they realize they now have an opportunity to give to themselves, it's like, oh, I don't really know how to do that. I don't really know how to reflect back in on myself. And I think that's where this Hierophant really comes in, is for some of you who have an influential person, like I said, a father, a teacher, a business colleague, mentor, someone that you respect, likely not a romantic person, right? But someone platonic and someone who just really has your best interest at heart, that you can talk to, you can spin ideas off of, that you can, you know, trust to give you a honest opinion about things. And, you know, this King of Chariot, this King of Wands here is really very aggressive, can be very aggressive. You know, can be aggressive and can be stubborn. We're talking about Leo here. Okay, the Leo archetype. Now they could be Pisces or they could be Sagittarius, totally doesn't matter. This person has a great deal of drive to accomplish that which they have set out to accomplish. So I don't necessarily know that if you have been going through some difficult times with someone, you know, if this represents someone else for you, that they're entirely out of the picture. Right? Like obviously with my friend in the custody battle, the baby's mother is still in the picture, so she's still there. You know what I mean? But not as much, you know? And the reason why I was talking about the identity here, okay, is because the Seven of Swords can sometimes speak to self-sabotage or letting the fears and doubts really get the best of you. This is really important for you to push past this, this idea that what you went through is a makeup or really makes up a part of you. It's an experience that you went through that brought out parts of you, but it itself is not a part of you. Do you know what I mean? I'm hoping I'm clear, because I know that experiences are extremely important and they make up who we become. But the experiences are not a part of really who we are. That could be confusing for some people. Hopefully it makes sense. But as you're, you know, going through this point of progress, there could be a tendency, and this is again the Neptune that I'm talking about, there could be a tendency, and with the full moon, this is also represented by the moon, emotions, right? The full moon also in Pisces, I believe it's conjunct Neptune as well. There can be that tendency to fall backwards. That's why it is so important for you to set goals and to set intentions now, so that when you feel that desire to fall back or that desire to identify with what you've gone through. You can say no, like I don't have to continue to play that game. I don't continue to have to be in this place. See, the thing about Capricorn is they tend to have a great deal of mind power. You know, when they set their mind to something, it's like, forget it. Like they're just off. They're doing their thing and they're just gonna go, you know? But if they get in their own heads, it can be more destructive than, like, say, if a Pisces gets in their own head, you know, and it's like a normal thing for them. But for a Capricorn, it's a very foreign energy. It's a very foreign thing. But with the Seven of Pentacles, like, this is called the Lord of Success Unfulfilled. And what that means is that you see more growth needed. You see more ahead of you. You see more for yourself. Your standards for yourself are higher than where you are now, right? Like there's more to go. You've done a lot. Like I know that Capricorn has done so much in every area of life. Family, career, finance, relationships, social, you know, their social standing, everything they're doing in their communities. Like all my Capricorn friends, they're all doing it. It's like, oh, I don't know. There's like this Capricorn wave going on. I don't even know what that is, but they're becoming these forces. It's like they've hit their adversaries and it has propelled them into this like expansive arena that I just like, it's blowing my mind over the past year or so, what I've seen and truly what my Capricorn friends are capable of. Now, I'm not trying to go just about my friends, but I mean, I have so many Capricorns in my life, guys. I don't know what, that's like the sign that I just attract all the time. So it's a sign that I'm very, very comfortable with talking about, you know, just generically. There's so much, like, again, it's important for you to recognize the emotional state though, and to not suppress it, because you have been through so much and because you have gone through so much like junk. It has been junky, guys. It's been really junky. Because you've been through that, you must acknowledge, you know, and I know you're never going to let the world see it, and that's fine, but maybe you can let this hierophant see it, this person that you respect, you know, maybe you can let this person help you with the darker parts of yourself, the more subconscious parts of yourself, you know, because it needs to be dealt with, and you need to allow yourself to feel. I'm going to say this, don't take it the wrong way, but like you kind of need to feel a little bit sorry for yourself sometimes and just be like, oh, yes, that was so terrible. And just allow that to wash over you a little bit, because, yeah, Capricorn's the sign that's like, no, it's fine. No, it's fine. I'll do it. I can do it. It's no problem. And then they just go do it. But like all the while, and emotionally, they're like, oh, why did this happen to me? And why did this, you know, like, oh, this sucks. And the hermit mode. Yeah, it's going to be a quiet month. It really is. Like, this is not a loud, booming month. It's more about progress. It's about self-development. It's about expression of needs and desires and getting to know that inner self. Okay. I almost feel like you guys have this intuitive energy about you right now, that you're kind of at this place where like, I can't really talk about what I'm really dealing with because it's going to be misinterpreted with the Mercury retrograde and everything. That may be true, but you may know the right time when it is needed to talk about it and when it is needed to express what you need, whatever it is that you need to express. I think there's things that you're omitting from other people, even this person, even your significant other. There are things that you aren't talking to people. You're not talking to therapists. You're not talking to doctors. You're not talking to friends and family. You're like, there's something in your life that you're not saying because I think you're still maybe trying to make sense of it and still trying to figure out what it is that you even want to say or what it is you even, you know, just making sense. That's what the Hermit mode is really about. The Hermit card is really about making sense of stuff. And you guys have been through this year, and you're probably looking back and being like, what the heck was that? What was that? Why did I go through that? Why did I have to live through this? And in what purpose? You know, and it's very high level. It's very big picture. The thing with the Hermit mode that you must remember is that what you went through is a reflection of what you have going on the inside. And because now you're on that other side of it, it's like you are becoming so much more than you probably ever thought you could be, but I don't think you've realized it yet. Hermit is about the process of realization. So it's not always so obvious and it's not always so clear why those things came into your life. And you don't need to spend so much time on the why, but rather what you can get out of it, right? It's kind of like the law of polarity. It's like the love versus hate type of thing. It's the same thing. It's just different degree of the same thing. The Venus quality of the Empress is kind of intriguing to me right now because it speaks to beauty and appreciation of independence and appreciation of you as yourself. And a lot of times as we emerge out of the Hermit phase, we often have these permanent results, these permanent changes that occur. It's a very Virgo thing, and because there's so much going on in Virgo, it doesn't, surprise me that you're going through that. And maybe that's actually what the Virgo in your 9th house is going to really be about. Or the Mars and the Mercury and the Sun in Virgo this month is going to really be about is you getting in tune with your inner Hermit and using that Hermit process to make permanent revisions to your programming and to how you see the world and how you see your experiences and how you use the experiences that you've gone through to now shape your future. And then we have death. Look at how many major arcana you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 majors. It's going to be a big month for you, but it's quiet big. Internally big, because now you have breathing room. Now you have breathing room, and now you have something was tamed, I believe. I believe that something was like put down. Something was figured out. Something was addressed, and it was, tamed is the only word that I can think of right now because I'm seeing the lion and I'm like, you had to tame the lion. It's kind of where it's going. And I said this in another one of my signs when we talk about death being associated with the sign of Scorpio. Let's talk about Scorpio symbolism for a minute because we have the scorpion, which is kind of similar with the crab. Like all water signs kind of have this like very protective, well, actually not Pisces, but Cancer and Scorpio have these protective shells or these stingers or these modes of protection, right? But it's also represented by the phoenix, right? Rising up from the ashes, which is what the foolish man is about, okay? From the Plutonian destruction to the regeneration afterwards. But the symbol of the eagle is also often used to represent Scorpio, or it was the representative of Scorpio at one point. When you think of the eagle, you think of the king of the sky, the true predatory bird that has control and the top of the food chain in the sky kind of thing. Soaring above everything. Soaring above everything. And that's a beautiful image to think of, because that's really what's happening, is you have converted to this eagle, right? And this beautiful phoenix rising up, and you truly have been transformed, because you can't go through these experiences. You can't go through these nasty custody battles. You can't go through these nasty breakups and divorces, and you can't go through these terrible business partnerships that just fall to shambles, and you can't go through health problems with your father who's not taking care of yourself. Like, you can't go through stuff like that and not become a different person. And that's what's happening. And the changes are beautiful. You can't see it yet, but they are. I know you can't see it. You're hard on yourself, just like Virgo. You're hard on yourself, just like Virgo. So there is not time for that, right? Because you've got to be deep in hermit mode. You've got to be deep in introspection, in analysis. It's a very active state, though, the hermit, right? Like, it's not where you're not doing nothing. You're pulling in, you're retreating, you're catching your breath after all this stuff, and you will emerge as a completely transformed individual and be better for it. Relationships will be better for it. Okay, it's a beautiful reading for you, Capricorn. I'm only doing 9 cards this month. I'm just feeling a little bit drained, I think, because of the retrograde and the eclipse and everything. So I will leave you with that. But I really wish you nothing but the best, Capricorn. I really do. I think it's going to be an exciting month for you personally and within your own mind. Remember, all these stuff going on in Virgo, mind, body, spirit. That's what it's all about, okay? Take care of yourself. Thanks.